My fellow convention delegates, we are the authors of Resolution 18. I'm Saper and I serve in the International Committee leadership as a member of the Secretariat.
I'm Lindsay and I serve on the Steering Committee of the International Committee, sometimes known as the IC.
And I'm Marvin, also serving on the Secretariat of the International Committee. We are now serving our second-year-long terms on IC leadership through MPC appointment. And we are proud of the work the entire IC has done to build new infrastructure, campaigns, events, statements, and even international delegations.
Resolution 18 reflects the lessons we have learned over the last year together. We share Resolution 18 as a request to you all as delegates in the organization's highest democratic body. A request to affirm that the IC should be an engine for mass organizing, one that is guided by the democratically decided political will of DSA's members.
So we're here to share a few key things with convention delegates. Make sure you understand Resolution 18. Number one, why international solidarity and fighting empire requires mass organizing. Number
two, how exactly the IC is structured now and why it's challenging to do that mass organizing through the IC.
And number three, how Resolution 18 proposes that the IC enables mass organizing and why you should vote yes on Resolution 18.
There is no socialism without internationalism. We live in the heart of empire, and our work must include fighting empire. For example, here in our home, the Israeli Defense Forces train our militarized police on how to brutalize black and brown people. Those same forces fire at water protectors at Standing Rock and take those same tactics to extract resources around the world. The U.S. has murdered countless people in endless wars. The U.S. has supported destructive coups for decades, all the while the military-industrial complex has profited from this suffering. Fighting such powerful empire cannot be accomplished by a small group of cadre on the International Committee, but rather by an organized, educated, and engaged membership, by all of us, by DSA members who feel like full participants in the IC, who incorporate internationalism into the everyday local organizing, and whose goal is to create a mass organization capable of winning socialism in our lifetime.
Throughout this convention process, we've received many questions from people who don't understand the setup of the IC today, which underscores the need for democratization and expansion. The IC was a closed and mysterious committee until it was reorganized by the NPC in 2018. It was then mandated to be opened up by a convention resolution in 2019. In 2020, we were appointed to formal leadership, along with many others, and given a mandate to determine how to open up the IC. In our IC leadership roles, we have spent the last year working towards our goals of internationalist organizing and IC democratization. We've built new infrastructure, campaigns, events, statements, and even international delegations. But we believe R18 is necessary for us to achieve mass organizing through this international committee.
But let's step back to make sure everyone understands the IC structure today. Our current setup is a secretariat that oversees external relations, such as party relationships and statements. Then there's a steering committee that oversees the IC itself and its administration. And finally, there are 9 subcommittees with regional or topical specializations, such as Americas, Middle East and Africa, or anti-war. The leadership of these 11 bodies are all appointed by the NPC. We don't believe such appointments are undemocratic, but we do believe that an elected secretariat would elevate internationalism to the fore of convention politics and encourage internationalist energy in chapters.
In the last year, we set up an application process for rank and file members to join the IC, but without standardized acceptance criteria across subcommittees. There are also no IC-specific bylaws or informal infrastructure for these members once they join. This creates a lack of agency for subcommittee members who join the IC, but then have a difficult time discerning whether their projects will make it past appointed leadership politics or bureaucracy. This setup also makes it challenging for local chapters to coordinate internationalist organizing with each other and to coordinate national campaigns through the IC, both of which are necessary for mass organizing against empire. and in all positions, appointed or not, there is confusion about who has any political mandate aside from acting on official resolutions taken at conventions such as BDS or Cuba.
Resolution 18 is all about giving you and all DSA members power in deciding how DSA approaches internationalism. It's all about opening up avenues for all members to organize under that political mandate. We believe that Resolution 18 thoughtfully sets up the IC, both democratically and for mass organizing, in 3 ways. First, by democratically electing the Secretariat at convention. This gives the body a mandate to make internationalist political decisions with the oversight of the National Political Committee. Second, by recognizing that self-selected subcommittees are not inherently democratic and therefore opening up IC membership to all DSA members. And third, allowing IC leadership to build the decision-making infrastructure that members need for mass organizing. In addition, electing the Secretariat at convention will elevate internationalist politics to DSA's highest democratic body, our convention. The elected Secretariat would then work to build important relationships around the world.
We also want to take a moment to address an important component of Resolution 18, the IC's relationship with comrades organizing abroad. As a Secretariat member, I was tasked with meeting with members from the IC, DSA abroad, and the MPC to understand the situation. National staff have long advised DSA abroad members that forming official chapters outside the US would be expensive and difficult to operate from a legal, operational, and compliance perspective. Our resolution acknowledges these inherent issues and actually suggests more recognition of organizing abroad than currently exists. We believe that organizing in every country looks different and that the IC can flexibly support organizing abroad through memorandums of understanding. We appreciate and accept the language of Amendment 8 as friendly.
I'm Iranian, and ongoing US sanctions have devastated my country, my family, and me. And US imperialism doesn't just affect me. It impacts all of us here and around the world. I need my comrades organizing with me against US intervention and empire, and for a true socialist future that is inherently internationalist.
I am Puerto Rican, and US colonization of our islands has led to economic and ecological destruction. I'm proud of the work DSA has done supporting Puerto Rican self-determination and creating ties with Latin American mass parties. But there is so much more work for all of us to do together.
We are in the US, living in the war machine in the heart of empire. As members of the Democratic Socialists of America, our duty is to organize against empire. And organizing against empire means all of us. So vote yes on Resolution 18.